All right, welcome. This is Enda here from bullwaves.org. If you've never watched a video before, thank you for clicking. I'm going to look at the markets from an Elliott wave perspective. And if you're interested, I do nightly updates, so check out the website, bullwaves.org, and see if there's anything there that interests you. Anyway, okay, I am going to jump right into the dollar FX pairs as usual. Hope you guys and gals are all well. And all right, on with the show. This is daily euro dollar. You can see that I've been tracking this, wave D down for such a long time. We've got 3 waves down in A, possible 3 up in B, and then we're looking at 5 waves down within wave C. So the acceleration lower has taken place. That was what we were looking for this week after correction higher. So we're looking at wave 5 now of C. Okay, so let's get in there to, you can see here how wave C is tracking out there. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the 4-hour count. Let's go to the hourly count. Now, let's zoom out a bit there, get a bit more in. I am kind of looking at the 110 area for this 5th wave to complete. You can see that nice. We had a target for wave C of 4 to hit that upper channel there, and then immediately reverse, and that's exactly what happened. We have 5 waves down in 1, an ABC running flat 2, and then we look like an acceleration lower in wave 3 of 5. So you can see we're still tracking lower in a possible 3rd wave. And once we do correct and then fall again, that should complete wave 5 of C, and then we'd look higher. Well, that would indicate that wave D of the triangle is complete, and we will look higher for wave E again. We're very close, I think, right now, again, to this pattern completing. So next week I'll be looking for a reversal, I think, in Eurodollar. Probably, towards the end of the week anyway. Okay, here is cable. We've got this, strange 1-2-1-2 pattern. All the same, the pattern is at least working for the last week. We were looking for a top in wave 2 at a lower high, so we've got this wave 1, 2, and 1, 2. So wave 2 in green must have was expected to be below 138.36. We seem to have done that, and given the action this week, I think that's pretty much confirmed. So we're looking for a 3rd wave down, and we'll see whether that happens next week. Here's the hourly count. This is wave 1 down, pretty clear 5-wave pattern lower. I'm not quite sure whether it's done yet. This is, corrective at a lower scale, really. What's happened over the last couple of sessions, well, overnight and today, it's 3 waves up. Not sure, is this wave 2 underway yet, or do we still have one more step lower to complete wave 5? That's a real possibility. I would expect wave 2 to push it back above 135.20 again. That's the previous 4th wave. So I'll be looking for that early next week. 3 waves up, wave 2 to lead into a 3rd of a 3rd wave. Actually, it'll be a 3rd of a 3rd of a 3rd if it comes in. So that would be a real. If it does materialize, that'll be a pretty substantial acceleration expected to the downside next week. Okay, here is dollar yen. A possibility that there could be a triangle developing. I'm looking at this 4th wave, this wave 4 in red here. So what's happened so far is, in line with the main count, but it's also can be interpreted in terms of let's say a burgeoning triangle also. And the triangle may have started earlier. We could be talking about wave A, B, C, D, and E. Maybe we're falling in wave E of a triangle now. If that's the case, we'll hold above. Get that there. We will hold above 113.48 in this next decline. So that'll be wave E of a triangle. If that happens, if we do hold above that recent low, and we begin to turn higher again, that will indicate possible, let's say, change of count towards an alternate 4th wave triangle, and that would point higher again for the dollar. So don't count out the old book yet. Let's get into the hourly count here. I am at the moment kind of running with this 3 waves down, wave 4, pretty standard pattern. So initially, next week I'm looking for a new low below 113.47 there, and possibly to fill out this channel here down around 112.50 maybe. Okay, so C wave, wave B completed quite nicely. Let's see if we get a turn down into wave C again. Okay, all going well there. Here is the Dow. It looks like, now that you look at the 4-hour count here, it looks like we've got a triangle underway. The last couple of sessions, we've got this narrowing range. The moves are quite wild. Obviously, I remember when like a 500-point move was actually something to write a whole column about way back when. But no, not anymore. That's just a normal Tuesday afternoon. Not even a normal hour. It's just so strange how the proportions of the market have grown so much, almost to become meaningless, which is worrying in itself. All right, if this is a triangle, what's happening? Well, then maybe we have a lower low coming for wave 1. We'll see on that one. I'm still looking at this as a wave 1 down. There is, I'm going to shout out here. I'm going to shout it out. There is a possibility that this is a 4th wave expanded flat. So maybe even top in way back in August, and we had an A, B, and this is wave C. It's a real possibility, so I can't rule it out. If that's the case, there'll still be one more low. I'd say this will be still a triangle, and we'll still get this wave. If it's a wave C, then we'll still get a lower low, probably around 32,500 or so, and then we would start back up again. Oh, I do hope not, but hey, that's just the way things go. I don't know the future. Maybe you do. You can tell me what's going to happen. I'm just running through the patterns, the possibilities. Trying to narrow that, let's say, that tunnel or that funnel of possibilities until you get like 1 or 2 real doozies that you can actually work with. Okay, that's the 4-hour. Let's get on to the hourly count here. Here's the alternate triangle count here. So we could, let's say, off, when was the low? Last Friday. Let's say off this wave 1 low, what we've got, what I have labeled wave 1, you can count this as a triangle. Excuse me, I'm fumbling over myself here. So we've got 3 waves up into that intermediate high. That would be wave A. Then you have 3 waves down, B, call that 3 waves up, C, 3 waves down, D, and then you look for 3 waves up again, J, which should complete quite soon. I mean, that'd be between 34,500 and 34,600. And that would complete a contraction triangle. We should then see let's say a spill to the downside out of that again, to break probably 33,000 at a minimum. If that's the case, then we've got another 5-wave pattern to the low or to the downside complete, and then we would work on a 2nd wave next week. So far, the main pattern is still operational. We'll just have to wait and see whether the triangle becomes more obvious towards the end of the session today. If that's the case, then I'll switch counts tonight. It's just worth keeping that general pattern, that general kind of restriction or constriction, let's say, in the range contraction as a possible triangle. Keep that in mind. Maybe we have another 5th wave down. Maybe we get another lower low in wave 1, and then we work higher in wave 2 next week. So rather than working on wave 2 this week, we'd be working on wave 2 next week. Okay, let's get on. Well, let me finish. If the current count is correct, then we are moving into a 3rd wave next week. So that would be incredibly interesting, I would say. So, watch this space. Go to the website, join. You'll get the nice new charts. Like it's that easy. Okay, here is gold. This is the 4-hour count in gold. We were tracking last week. If you remember last week's video, we were tracking this three-wave pattern up in wave D. Excuse me. My country book Irish accent is coming out there. 3 waves up in wave D, and I was looking for a reversal lower into wave E this week. Well, we got a reversal lower. I mean, it's a pretty that was a pretty devastating move lower, actually. Up there with well, at least the a match with last November's large acceleration to the downside within wave C. So I'm still willing to count this pattern as an ongoing triangle wave 4. I will not be willing if we break the wave C low, so that comes in at, let's say, 1751, call it 1752. If we break that wave C low at 1752, I will the bullish triangle scenario will be really in trouble, I think, at that point. If we break another low, if we fall below 1721, which is the low, it's been the most important low that I've been watching over the last while, over the last 6 months or so, or sorry, 5 months. Then I think at that point I probably would be really hard pressed not to change to the alternate account. And here is that dreaded alternate account. Here is the daily count in gold. So that up there. It's still a fourth wave scenario. Only one difference is we have 3 waves down in A of 4. We have a triangle B wave, which has just completed, by the way, this week. And if this count is correct, this alternate count for gold, then we are looking at a C wave down in 5 waves, which should break 1500 again, possibly fall as low as 1400. Call the previous fourth wave there at 1450. That would be the initial target for this higher degree fourth wave. So I have one eye on this count. Over the last few months, I've had one eye on this count. And I gotta say, if I was a fan, which I'm not, if I was preferring this count, then I would be really tooting my own horn this week, because that real acceleration to the downside is a real vote in favor of this alternate count. But until we start getting, most importantly, 1721, this low here at last September, 1721. If that level breaks, then I'm going to switch to this alternate count here. I'm sorry to break the news, but those of you who have been following the videos anyway, you know already about this. So there's nothing in there. Here's the hourly count. It's the wave D high. Still looking at a possible 3 wave scenario in wave E. If we've got 5 waves done in wave A, which I can't argue with the fact that this actually looks quite impulsive, a 5-wave pattern, then 5 waves done, we should be expecting a B wave rally next week. This can be, in terms of the alternate count, this would be wave 1 and 2. So both counts would expect some sort of a 3-wave corrective move higher next week. The real test then comes when does wave C spill below 1720, and if that happens, then I'll have to switch to the alternate count here. So still working on this triangle, nonetheless, still working on a 4th wave triangle here. Wave A is done pretty much. Let's go for wave B next week, and then wave C the week after, probably. So we're probably looking at wave E taking the rest of the next 3 weeks, probably, to unfold. Okay. Crude oil. Here's the 4-hour count. We're looking at a rally into wave 5 that was confirmed this week, and we have an ongoing pattern here. Not sure whether we're complete yet, but that's always part of the deal here. We have, or sorry, I was looking at the wrong count there. Lower degree, we have wave 3 waves down, wave 4, possible 5 waves up into wave 5 of 5. Arguably, we have topped this pattern out in wave 3, then we're going to move lower in wave 4, and then we should move higher again in wave 5. So, depending on how you view this, this top this week, you can view it as wave 5 already complete, or you can view it as I'm viewing it here a little bit more conservatively as wave 3 of 5 now complete. So wave 3 should lead to wave 4, should lead again to wave 5. So a little bit of a step pattern heading higher over the next few weeks, most likely going to fall into a fourth wave, well, at least a fourth wave coming on next week. I'm eyeing that previous low here at $81 again for the next decline in wave 4. So keep an eye on that. Maybe, maybe we get a fall back towards that 81 handle again before we move higher. Okay, here's the S&P. This is the 4-hour S&P. I have been tracking this 5-wave pattern lower as well. You would remember back in the beginning of this month, I was touting this the S&P as having topped out. We had a running flat wave 4, 5-wave rally up in wave 5. We had filled this channel again, and I was looking for a reversal. We did get a reversal. It looks like we're still, engineering the pattern within wave 1 down. So it looks like we're still working on a 5-wave pattern lower. This triangle scenario here that I've talked about in the Dow is still very evident here in the S&P also. So let's go to the hourly count here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. If this triangle is correct, then we should have closed out. Well, we should be closing out pretty soon. The trend line is probably suggesting somewhere around 43.85 to complete wave E, and then we fall again towards the end of the session to begin wave 5 of 1. So we'd have wave 4 done, we'd have wave 5 on the way, that'll complete 5 waves down, and then we'd expect a 3-wave correction next week, probably towards that 45, 45, 30, 45, 50 area. So anyway, looking for a triangle to complete and one more step lower in wave 5. And we go on to, here is the silver. I was looking last week at a 3-wave pattern higher complete in wave B. We completed that, and I was looking for a reversal pattern this week, and we seem to have 5 waves down now, close to complete. So overall, wave C should be now underway. We should get a 1-2 pattern, complete, let's say, a smaller degree, head and shoulders here around wave B. Wave 2 will complete a lower high, and then we'll accelerate lower into wave 3 of C of 2. So that's kind of, this is the count I'm hanging my hat on here at the moment. You can, if I'm just to kind of spice this up a little bit, you could look at this as a wave 1, 2, and in that case, we will be looking at a 3rd wave decline coming next week, or a third of a 3rd wave decline actually. So third of a 3rd. If it's 5 waves lower in wave C, that's coming our way. Well, then wave C will it could fall to $15. Excuse me. Let me say that again. It could fall to $15 or more or lower to complete. At the moment, I'm kind of sticking on let's say a decidedly conservative estimate here of about 18 to complete a 3-wave decline in wave C. That'll be like a triple combination wave 2. Oh, the scenarios they're not endless, but there's an array of scenarios here. A 5-wave decline within wave C blue here will bring us much lower. I'm not gonna let's say I'm not gonna throw a whole lot of money behind that right now. I mean, this easily could just this C wave could easily just trace out 3 waves down, and we complete a triple combination, and then we start a rally again up into a large degree wave 3. Overall, as I've been saying, as I say probably every week now, I am actually bullish on the metals longer term, but it doesn't look like we're finished this corrective phase again yet, which has been going on for how long now? Wow. Well, if you want to take a look at how long this correction has been going on, it's been going on since 2012. This corrective move it's been pretty much sideways for a long time. We have this wave 1 up into the highs of 2021, and we're working on this 3-wave decline in wave 2. So if we get a 62% retracement, that does suggest somewhere around 1850 or so. We could go even lower. It could be 78. That would bring us down to about $15. So don't rule this one out yet. This week's action has really, let's say, cast a vote in favor of my bearish outlook here in the short term. Long term, I'm looking a long way up for a long time. But in the short term, it looks like we have still some ground to cover to the downside. Okay, Bitcoin. I've taken a bit of a spin on Bitcoin this week, or was it last week? I can't remember. Looking at a possible 1-2-1-2 scenario here, which could see a rally in wave 2 back up to about 44,600 or 45,000. If that 1-2-1-2 pattern is correct, then we're going to probably kiss goodbye to Bitcoin altogether later on this year. But for the moment, we could be looking at a 1-2 pattern building off the current lows. Let me see. Let me get another couple of labels in here. Bear with me. Here we go. Wave 1 and wave 2. I'm looking at that previous 4th wave. I'm going to kill these for a second. Looking at that previous 4th wave correction here, this could it will provide at least the initial resistance to any rally that comes. That brings us up to about 43,500. That could be wave A of 2. There is a chance we see 50,000 again. If wave 2 does track, a whole lot higher. Let's say the move this week is probably pointing to at least a shorter term rally in a possible second wave. So this could be 3 waves up, a pretty clean 3 waves up, or it could get a lot more complicated. I'm just going to have to track it day by day anyway, but I'm just going to have to track it and see how it plays over the next week or so. It looks quite corrective, holding a higher low this week anyway. So this is either wave A of A. So if we were going to go, let's say, this could be wave A, maybe B underway, and C still to come. And then we have an ABC pattern higher would complete wave A of 2. So that's wave A. We would probably fall then again to create a higher degree, higher low, down around 36,000 again, and then rally again in wave C. So we've got an A, B, C pattern to the upside in wave 2. Still looking at that possible 49,000 level, above the previous 4th wave anyway. But 48 is reasonable, I think. If we go to the 4-hour count again, we look at that previous wave 2, brings us up to 51,900. The little shoulder here on the left brings us 44,000. We could get in there between 40 and 50. Anyway, for the moment, it looks like wave 2 rally is underway. Later on, in a month or so, we'll probably turn towards the third, the downside, which could bring us back below 20,000 again, and probably back below 20,000 with ease. Okay. Let's see, is there much to see on the Ftse? I was looking at 3 waves up this week, possible 1-2 pattern, and further downside yet to come. This has not been confirmed yet, I would like to see this internal low here at about, what's that, 40, or sorry, 73.20. Let's say if we get a break of that, we'll probably lean heavily in favor of the third wave down on the way. The DAX, fourth wave possibility, still a reasonable chance that we get a triangle in the DAX also. Let's say the range has been contracting. We do have a large 3 waves up into wave. I'm calling this wave 4 at the moment, but so far it's 3 waves down off that, so it's an A-B pattern. Probably wave C. If we continue to contract, that will spell triangle, and that will suggest further downside next week in wave 5 of 3 at a minimum, I'd say. Okay, let's get to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has come off quite not spectacularly, but you know, quite heavily off the recent top. We have broken that previous fourth wave low here. We seem to be consolidating below that previous fourth wave low, which is again quite interesting. It's tight, but if the price continues to consolidate below that low, and we trace out another triangle here, then we would expect another step lower. So this 1, 2, and 3 pattern is beginning to take an even more ominous and more important, let's say, level of probability here. If we get into the hourly count, I was looking for a fifth wave today. Not likely. That's probably what's going to happen right now. If we continue on this kind of trajectory towards a triangle, it will probably spell a later decline early next week, or sorry, a decline early next week in a fifth wave to complete wave 3. Then we'll go higher again in wave 4. So it's going to be, let's say a corrective jaunt sideways over the next couple of weeks if this count is correct. And as always, I would like to see that wave 1 wave 1 low 15,500. I'd like to see that level hold in any fourth wave. So looks like we're moving into fourth, fifth territory now. So it's going to be sideways to down, and that I think does, let's say, favor in the longer term, favor my bearish viewpoint here. Okay, that is it. That's the bad news. How'd you like it? I usually stop every one of these videos on YouTube with the ABCs of salvation. I am a follower of Christ, so I'm a believer in Jesus, a follower of Christ. I'm trying to live that way anyway, even though I fall short every day. But that is none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Let's say none of us are guaranteed tomorrow, and none of us are guaranteed. We're not born as children of God. We're born rotten little pagans, cute, cuddly little pagans, and each of us have to make a decision in this battle that we're in, this lifelong battle against spiritual forces of darkness. You have to make a decision what side you're on, and it's only your position at the end of the day in this war. It's the position that you've chosen in this war that decides your eternal fate. It's not how good you are, or how many good things you've done in life, or how nice you were to the granny next door, or how many times you pulled out her bins and pulled them in after they were emptied, or how many times you petted a cat or anything like that crap. There's going to be a lot of believing people that get to heaven that were assholes during their lives. And I'm afraid to say there's going to be a lot of very nice pagans in hell. And I would kind of urge you, or at least, urge you to at least investigate, the validity of my claims here. Ask God himself. I mean, if he did say, if you ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. So anybody who asks or seeks with a, let's say, an earnest heart, if they do ask God, What is the story with this Messiah guy? What is the story with this Jesus guy? He is either the craziest person on planet that ever existed on planet Earth by claiming to be God and the Son of God, part of the triune God. He's either the craziest person that ever existed, or he's telling the truth, and you should at least, cock your ear and listen for a minute. Because the guy has one message, and that is get on the right side for eternity. This is a battle. The Messiah came to battle for the soul of humanity. And he took your sin onto that cross, and he paid for that sin so that you could open up a relationship with God again. And I'm talking to everybody. I'm not talking religion here. I hate religion. I don't like it at all. It's man's gears to get to heaven, 5 steps to get to heaven type thing. This is not religion. This is, opening up a relationship between you and God through the Messiah. That's it. I don't care if you're Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, Jewish. I mean, even more so if you're Jewish, because he's the Jewish Messiah. He's sent to the Jews. I would love if you just opened your eyes, guys, especially the Jews. But anyway, that's it. That's my rant. There's the ABCs of salvation. Ask God, who's this Messiah guy? Go read the Bible. Your eyes will be opened. Scales will fall off. I promise you. Anyway, check out the website. Check out bullwaves.org. On that note, I'll leave you for the week, and I'm going to get typing and writing for tonight's update. All right, God's blessings to you all. Have a great weekend, and if I'm alive, I'll be back to you tonight and Monday and next week on YouTube. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.